Right, welcome to Tuesday's lesson 1 of Titanic, subunit 2, lesson 1, part 2, or subsection B, if you're going with what I would actually type on the lesson. All right, so first things first, do some vocab. But I already clicked the vocab yesterday. No, it just sends you to the app. You can do more vocab. So pause the video, do some vocab, unless you're on paper. Then you don't have to pause the video. All right, if you are on the paper version, you're looking at it where it says lesson 1 continued, right? Scavenger hunt, including the collection. Anybody else? You come over to tab 5, right? So this scavenger hunt, same sort of thing. We get a new question. This question says, at what time did the Titanic receive the first report of large quantities of ice in the area? Right? So the first thing again is you're going to scan all 6 of these articles, right? And you're going to go through them again. Ha 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 ha. The nice thing is, though, is these questions here are the exact same as yesterday. So we don't have to do the questions again. So those of you guys with paper, you won't have them. You get the other stuff. Okay? But you get to go through it. So you're going to use that first page, page 607, and you're going to go through and scan them again. People online, you're just going to look through here. Remember, you can hit Control F and search for maybe report or quantities, right? So when you're trying to find when the Titanic received the first report of large quantities of ice. All right, so scan through and find it. So you're going to go through. If the answer is yes, you're going to hit yes. If the answer is no, hit no. And then just go to the next one. You do not need to answer these questions here because you did it yesterday, right? So go through 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, same excerpts as yesterday. So maybe you remember which one talked about the reporting of ice. If that's the case, that makes things easy. You can go and find that one. Do it. Hooray. All right. So pause the video and find it. Scavenger hunt, go. When you're done, make sure you come over here to number 7 and hit your hand in button. That way your yes, no, yes, no, yes, no's get handed in. Okay? Today is a little bit more fun. We're doing an image scavenger hunt. Yay. What? Yes, image, pictures. We're going to look through pictures and find stuff, right? Because some people couldn't write back then. Some people had cameras, though. They took pictures. They are not the best quality pictures, I'll tell you that. Some of them are kind of hard to see. But hopefully you can see this video if the paper version's hard for you to see. All right, so you've handed in. You're in tab 6. My dear friends with paper, you're turning the page to page 608. You will see a list that says scan each image for one that contains an answer to scavenger hunt question. Okay? So you're going to find which passengers ate their meals closest to the boiler room. So you're going to look at this one. Here's the Carpathia Manifest. Yes, it's a lot easier to read online than the paper version. Okay? And then you're going to come over here if it's yes or no, right? And then you got 2 picture of the, let's see, it's called Heroic Musicians. I wonder if that talks about where people eat their meals. That solved that one really easy, right? 3. Okay, first, second, third class menus. This is what they eat. I don't know if it says where they ate, though. You'll have to look. Number 4. Diagram, scraping past the berg. All right. First class, dining, saloon, dining, waterline, starboard portholes, boiler room. Oh. And we're trying to find who ate closest to the boiler room. So perhaps the diagram 2, scraping past the berg, should be looked at a little more. But I don't know. Let's look at number 5. Ah, yes. People dying at sea. Those of you who have the paper versions, you don't get the look at the color on this. It's such dynamic. The colors make a huge difference here. They're not happy colors. There's no springtime happiness in this, right? Unhappiness of color. I seriously doubt that one's going to tell you where they ate dinner, though. Right? Okay, so after you do that, you're going to come back and you're going to answer the questions, right? So image 2, which is the Carpathia Manifest here, it asks you to examine the calling or occupation column, which is here, calling or occupation. It's column number 6. It's really, really hard to read on the paper version, so maybe you'll have to just look at the video. All right, what class do you think most of these passengers were traveling in? Well, let's see. There's a domestic person, a sailor, a laborer, a housemaid, a housewife, laundress, another housewife, another laundress, a cook. Do you think these people are first class, second class, or third class passengers? Let's say a helper, a laborer. So we got a lot of laborers. Okay. If you're online, you just scroll down here and you can type it in. If you're on the paper, you write it in the paper. Okay. So you're going to use full sentences. The class that I think most of these passengers were traveling in is, you're going to say first, second, or third. Okay. And it says, do you think the government was asking for useful information? If you were the one taking a survey of the survivors, what questions would you have asked? So they asked their name, their job, what nation they're from, their race, or the last permanent residence country. So the city or town they lived in. So it says the name and complete address of the nearest relative to be found in the country that you live in. Right? You think those are good? The year, how many years old they are? Oh, apparently this 2-year-old doesn't have a job. Huh. Neither does this 45-year-old. So, Jenny. She's probably just a housewife and didn't put it in there. Ooh, I wonder what happened to this maid and why it's faded like that. Interesting. Not on list. Odd. This person is also not on list or put on list. Something interesting. Sorry. If you look up this, you can actually see the old version of it. The Carpathia, just in case you didn't know, was the first ship to arrive at the sinking of the Titanic and start. Actually, I think it was one of the only ships to go and save people. All right, so you're just going to do the same thing. You're going to go to the next one, and the next, and the next. And you're just going to look at the pictures, and you're going to answer the questions. All right, just a sentence or two. This isn't as hard as yesterday's because you're just looking at the pictures, right? And some of you may be assigned that person later. It'll be kind of fun. All right, so you're just going to go through, pause the video, do all 5 circles or all 5 pages if you have the paper. Okay. Exit ticket if you are online. If you're not online, you don't have the exit ticket. So you're lucky on that one. According to the article, what belief was lost along with the Titanic? Is it that wealthy people deserve better treatment than poor people? A ship can be unsinkable? People with less money have different taste in food and clothes? Or ship is a safe way to travel? Okay, so review the article. Again, you can look for keywords, but it could be inferred in the article. My article didn't show up. What do I do, guys? Do you know what I do? Yes, I hit the refresh button. But I'm not going to because it'll take me like 20 years to show up that the fact there's an article there. All right. Okay, the solo. I'm kind of going to go through this with you. You are going to come over here to Google Classroom and do the PDF. Haha, I have to create the assignment and give you the PDF. Haha, 1 second. Okay, so we have a copy for each student. So let's look at that solo real quick. The solo has to do with that Carpathian manifest, which is really, really hard to see in the book. So I'm going to help you out with it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will give us that. If you want to look at it online, you can always go to your Amplify library. And open it there. You can look at it right here in the solo on circle 7. Okay. Right. And these just a few questions on here. It's not loading. Questions 5, 6, 7, and 8 on here are all through the Carpathian manifold. So I open it with Cami so you can type in. I will go through it here so you can see. Okay, so it says for lines 22 and 23 here, Harold and Eleanor Johnson. Why do you think there's no jobs? Why do you think there's no job? What else do we know about the person? Let's come and scroll up, right? Would it be because of their class? Is their class listed on here? Would it be because of their age? Well, let's look at their age. 22 and 23, 4 and 18 months. Male and female. So is their country of origin? Do we have a country of origin? No. What about their family name? Johnson. Are all Johnsons? Well, here's a Johnson that has a job. So probably not the last name. Why do you think that their calling or their job was left blank? Right. So fill that out on here. Remember, you can open it with Cami so you can put your little circle in which one you think it is. Next one, you're going to put a check mark and the number of times that country shows up on the manifest. So let's go through here. Again, if I'm going too fast, you can slow down the speed in the video or rewind it. Okay, so England, you're going to come through and you're going to count 1, 2. A lot of Finland in here, isn't there? Spain, Syria, Sweden, Finland, Ireland, Turkey, Syria, Finland, Sweden, Norway, Sweden, Syria, Sweden, Ireland, Austria. This one looks like it says Ireland. Finland, Sweden. Crossed off. Apparently we don't care. That one doesn't have an origin, so apparently Hildur or Hirunanen just randomly existed. Finland. So how many Englands was that? Yeah, 2. So you're going to come over here to your paper, and you're going to put an X right here. 1 to 2. Okay? Now, you get to either open your Amplify and look it up, or you can rewind the video and just count as I scroll down. Right here, you can watch it right here. I'll scroll really slow, and you can count. Pause the video and count it, and then watch me scroll some more. And then pause the video and count the rest of them. Okay, so here's number 13. So 13 through 31. And here is, just number 12 right here. Okay, so pause it, count them, and you're just going to put a little check in whichever box, how many times it shows up. Okay. All right, the next question says, which 2 things do all the passengers on the list have in common? Are they similar ages? Again, you just look here, 2, 22, 34, 26, 24. Their last names are the same part of the alphabet. Hyman, Howard, Harkin, Jones, Jamin, Johnson, Joseph, Jocelyn, Kelly. Joshua. Same gender. Looking here. Male, female, male. Married, single. Apparently these babies are single. Go fig, huh? Are they all the same gender? Do they all have same related jobs or occupations? Sailor, domestic, laborer, domestic. Housemaid, laundress. Can we zoom in and see what that one says? A grocer? A grocer. That's cool. In other words, he owned a grocery store or a greengrocer. He sold fruits and vegetables. Okay, so the last question says, do you think this information was useful? Sound familiar? Yeah, it's kind of like one of the questions were asked during the scavenger hunt. So we can just kind of rewrite it right there. or copy paste. Hooray! All right. So good luck with that. When you're done, remember, I would double check your tab 5, 6, and 7 to make sure you actually hit that hand in button. Solo is going to be blank. So let's see, as of 12/21 on Monday, nobody actually really completed any of their stuff. Let's refresh. Just curious. But again, I can see what you do. So if you forget to hand it in, it will say in progress because you typed something on there. If you just opened it or clicked it, it will say not started. Okay. Oh, look at, we got somebody done. Okay, as you can see, it has not started, not started, not started. If I scroll down, it'll actually say the person started, but since it says that person's scores, I'm not going to show you because it's none of your business. Okay. So, right, that person did it 12:03 and 12:09, which is why when I started this video at noon, it was blank. All right, so I hope this helped you. Don't forget to come here. Make sure you did your PDF here, and you click your hand in button here. That will tell me to go to Amplify and look and see it. Okay. Remember, again, just because the video is 16 minutes long does not mean you only take 16 minutes. You should be doing at least an hour and a half of, thought and reading. Today's probably not as long as yesterday's, but if you didn't get yesterday's done, you can go and finish it up, right? Yeah. Okay. Good luck.